Okay, we're going to do a quick look at the Pepwave unit. This is the combo. It's combining the Starlink Mini, which you can see drops down into the top cover. So the top of this unit's not waterproof. The connections are. We have the Cat 45 that plugs in, and we have the power cord, which are all water sealed. And then when you take that cover off, and we'll go down in, so now everything below this cover to the interior electronics is sealed. That's when we get all the screws all the way around. We have a gasket all the way around that, so this compartment is sealed. We've got water proof resistant entry points. There's a pressure relief valve for expansion. This is a metal cast bottom. The router, which we can put any router that'll fit in here. The Peplink, it's obviously designed for that. This unit here is the basic unit, so this has the LTE capability on it, and we have 2 LTE antennas hooked up. So there are 4 LTE and 2 Wi-Fi antennas built into the antenna array. There's a set on either side to give you diversity. It does have a GPS if we're using a router. It has GPS if you want to be able to get GPS location. Other than that, the extra antennas just get tucked away inside. So on the inside here, what we're dealing with is the power cord is coming from the upper section, powering the Starlink, comes into the power block. We also have positive and negative goes to an external 12 volt power input. So we could put 12, 24 volt, ideally something around 24 volt would be the best. So we have that hooked in case we needed it. It's already connected. And then we have power jumper here that's going over to the Peplink 5G router, and that powers this. So the Starlink, the output from the Starlink data, and you can have the Wi-Fi on the Starlink still be running to get into the Starlink. We're not going to run any Wi-Fi on this version here design-wise, because the theory would be this is going into a building or command post, that the Wi-Fi will be generated from within the building or the command post. In configuration, if it's going into a Cisco that's feeding a system in a building. The Wi-Fi can be shut off on the Starlink if you don't want to generate that. I always recommend leaving them on. It's a good backup if anything fails here. Lets you be able to get into that. But this will allow you to do your load share, so you can use both, or you can use your LTE as your primary, whether it be on FirstNet or some other carrier. And we have options for all 3 carriers that the unit will basically, if it doesn't find one or the other, it'll pick one, whichever one it has a good signal on. And then the Starlink is the LTE will come off of here. You can use that as primary and do the Starlink as backup in any of those combinations. But if the LTE is not available or goes off line, you can then have it set where it'll automatically switch over to the Starlink as failover and provide the data going down into the Wi-Fi and the system router. The Starlink is coming in as an external source for the Starlink, and then this does recognize and does work with Starlink, so you basically can do everything you need to do with Starlink through this Peplink. And then the output of this, which would be set, say, LTE is primary, Starlink is secondary, that output is going into the PoE splitter. This is bringing our power up the PoE, and that's the PoE going in to the water resistant connector, and then that would be a cat cable going down inside the building or in a vehicle. And that power is going to come from the building or vehicle up through the PoE. This is going to bring that out onto this connector, and we're taking it 3 directions off of that. And these are industrial grade PoE injectors and splitters, and does have a GPS antenna. If the router, the Peplink or whatever we're putting in here has GPS capability, we can have the antenna for that. That's really the gist of it. It's a nice compact unit. Mounting, there's a couple different ways of mounting it. We can put an aluminum plate on the bottom so it's coming out on the side, give us say 4 mounting holes. We can bolt that down to a pallet to put it on a flat roof. It does have pass-through connector in the bottom, and it does have mounting screws down here for a pipe mount, and it's got some other ones over here that you can get some sort of custom brackets put together. It does come with the pipe mount, and that can be put on there strictly just for the mounting. Or if it's going on a pipe, you can actually bring your cable up through that as well if you wanted to. That's really the basics of it, and any questions will get you answers on it. And they're all custom built to fit the need and application environment that you want to use it in. Thanks for watching.